and I did not have a good time after that. As a matter of fact, it took me maybe 20 minutes after that I said I couldn't even stand the smell of it and had to get out of there. That's also because his friend had a porcupine that pooped in my hand.
Oh, ow.
Ow, yeah, ow, yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bourbon Theory. I'm Josh.
I'm Bill.
And today is the 11th day of Christmas. And this one, I'm going to have to look at my phone to remember what the 11th day of Christmas is off the top of my head. But it is 11 Pipers Piping. And this one was pretty rough, but the first thing that came to my head was cigar blends.
Yeah.
So this is Old Elk's
cigar smoke,
cigar
pipe
blend.
Smoke.
Yeah, it's me.
I've got some pipe tobacco right here behind us.
Yeah.
Behind that wall.
You've got a humidor upstairs full of stuff.
Cigars.
Matter of fact, that has the Cuban cigars I bought in Cuba when we went.
And a bunch that I got.
Yeah.
It's mainly Cuban cigars. There's thousands of them.
We got to smoke those eventually. Yes. But this is finished 4 different ways. So much to our chagrin that I didn't realize this when I bought it, but this is... Part of it is a 6-year Old Elk's high malt bourbon. Let's hope it's not the majority of it, but that high malt bourbon is finished in sherry for 2 whole years and then finished in port for 6 to 10 months. I don't even know
sherry.
So hopefully the malty dryness kind of fades away with these finishes. That's what I'm hoping for anyways.
Josh may not make it to Christmas. Cancel the socks.
Watched the fewer videos before. That's what I wanted.
Of course Christmas. They're watching. They're our subscribers.
So the next is Old Elk 6-year rye that is finished in rum for 8 months. And then the last is Old Elk 6-year wheat, which thank God there's some wheat in this. And that's finished in Sauterne wine for 6 months.
So finish.
Quadruple finish.
And finish.
Yep. So this is 111.7 proof. And our favorite rye ever in the whole wide world is a store pick from State Line Elite that is Old Elk rye. So I have only had their base bourbon before, and that was years ago. So I really can't tell you that I have a strong opinion on it one way or another. You know what? The finish, the rum comes in, the sherry comes in. The port and the Sauterne are a little more muted, but that bourbon note is still there. There's a little bit of rye on that.
I get the Sauterne or Sauterne.
However you say it.
However it is. I'm not sure, honestly. So,
we have a special release video of our bluegrass tasting in Kentucky, and our guide for our bluegrass tasting pronounced it Sauterne.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I'm going off of.
I thought you were going to talk about the distillery cat.
Tipsy? We paid our cat tax in a couple of videos. Mainly Tipsy. Tipsy was a cool cat. I don't even like cats. Honestly.
Me neither.
Honestly, cats and me, I'm quite allergic to cats. So that's not a... there's no plus in their favor on that as far as I go, but Tipsy was a cool cat.
There is so much here.
I'm getting quite a bit of the rye.
Yeah, there's spicy.
I'm getting a little rye spice in
it
the
may
lime.
Be burning my nose hairs here.
I'm getting a little lime off of it.
A bit.
And
a little citrus of some type.
And we tried the Joseph Magnus cigar blend in another special release video that's coming out. And that had 3 different finishes on it. And I think that when you get to more than 1 or 2 finishes, it really becomes hard to discern what the nose is.
And that was okay. But at $2.50 a bottle,
no,
it's just there's no way it's close to being worth it.
Hopefully, if you don't like this, luckily I bought it. This was $120, so not crazy. I mean, if you're finished 4 different times, $120 is like a pretty fair. Like you had to buy 4 different kinds of barrels and then age them for 6 years, 6 to 10 months, 8 months, and then 6 months separately. So that's a lot of secondary aging done on it.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Smoky.
A little bit.
Chewy.
This leaves a lot to process.
It does.
This is something you need to sit on for a minute.
There's spice.
There is quite a bit of spice.
There's not a lot of proof.
There's not a lot of malt.
No, it's I'm definitely not getting that normal malted barley.
Which, thank God.
Yes.
This is, first impressions, this is pretty good.
It is.
Did we find a finish that you actually like?
And to be honest, when we tried the Joseph Magnus, I liked it.
Yeah.
But there's no way I would pay
$250 for it.
That kind of money.
Yeah. Would you pay $120 for this based on your very first impression?
Probably, but it would be something I would visit
rarely.
Yeah.
Like one bottle every 3 years kind of thing.
Yeah. I might want to try this with a cigar.
And you know what? This is leading up to Christmas. It's getting cooler outside. And I have very little experience smoking cigars. So one, you can teach me how to properly smoke a cigar. We can put that on video, and now we have a bourbon that we can pair with it. So that's something I'd be open to doing. This one, however, was specifically made to pair with.
Yeah, we'll get out there. We'll put a fire in the solo stove. We'll sit in the
We got some nice fancy rocking chairs out there,
gliders, and
give that a go on camera.
Yeah, and there's like bourbons, cigars have their own flavors, their own aromas, their own. The wrapper brings so much to it. The Cuban cigars and the magnesium in the soil brings so much flavor in. So there's a lot to pick up and learn. There's a lot to discern from all of that.
I'm going to be honest. The only cigars that I've actually smoked was when I was...
Blunts don't count. Just saying.
Well, the first thing I was going to say was Swisher Sweets wrappers. But other than that would be a few times at Uncle Andy. I know you're a subscriber. Shout out Uncle Andy. Love you, man. And one of his friends, when I was definitely of age.
There is no age for that stuff, just so you know.
Oh, is there not?
No.
It doesn't have a high enough tobacco content for it to be...
No, I'm
restricted?
talking about the other stuff.
Okay. Anyways, I was 100% of age. Took a few puffs off a cigar and did not completely understand exactly what that meant.
Yeah, you don't inhale.
And I inhaled. And I did not have a good time after that. As a matter of fact, it took me maybe 20 minutes after that I said I couldn't even stand the smell of it and had to get out of there. That's also because his friend had a porcupine that pooped in my hand.
Oh, Al.
Al, yeah. Al. Yeah. Al, if you're watching, which you might be, honestly.
Yeah.
Al, if you're watching.
Dr. Al.
Yeah. Why'd you let your porcupine poop in my hand?
Don't squeeze the porcupine.
It's not your fault. But I will never forget that. That was a very memorable thing. And to be honest, this bourbon is pretty memorable.
It is.
I want to put a drop in. Because you're on your second sip?
Yeah. It's the thing is, this is not something you can do in a 10-minute review.
Yeah, this needs some time to open. Because honestly, the flavors off my first sip are really lingering.
Yeah.
It's still there, and they are layering, and it's kind of like every few seconds I'm moving into a different flavor profile. Yeah. And that's what happens when you have 4 different finishes on something.
The proof holds.
Yeah, 111.7.
Yeah. I mean, it really does hold in there. I can't say that it's the proof that's there. I think it's the rye probably that's driving that up.
The rye is so nice.
I'm telling you, finished ryes are, to me, so much better than finished bourbons.
The pinnacle of finished.
Yes.
Bourbon itself being as you age bourbon a little longer than you regularly age rye,
Right.
lends itself better to just a good bourbon being what it is. You know, you can have an 8-year-old bourbon and be fantastic. As a matter of fact, we have some 8-year-old bourbon that is sitting over there that I'm very looking forward to trying, that I've heard fantastic things about. But it's really hard for you to have a bourbon that's 7 years or more and then not have some redeeming quality to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ryes, on the other hand, a lot of people put out ryes at 2 years.
2 years, 4 years, 6 years.
Yes.
But man, some of these 10-year and 12 years that we're hitting.
These older ryes are so good.
But our number one is a 6-year.
Yes.
Or 7
and
year.
it is sitting right there. Let me just grab it because it's another Old Elk product.
Oh, that's a 5, actually.
You're right. This is a 5.
The other one over there is a 6.
And this bourbon right here is there's a high rye bourbon mixed into it. And I'm getting a lot of rye spice off of it, which I'm enjoying. But this is our favorite rye of all time. This video should be out. This video did not do very well. I think it's because a lot of people don't know.
It hasn't so far. And by the way, I did go back and buy more bottles.
Good. I'm glad you did.
And they do have probably 5 more cases, or did have at the time I was there.
A couple of weeks ago. And then I think our second place was the Smooth Ambler at 6 years old.
120 proofer.
Yeah.
Man,
I mean, look at the colors on these. Certainly,
and they're not
looks
finished.
A little darker. Yeah, these are not finished.
No.
But this bourbon, that has a high rye percentage in it, I really like this. I don't know about you.
This is.
Did we finally find a finish that you actually enjoy?
We've had a few.
Okay. But a finish you rate higher than a C?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go C plus.
Really?
No.
I was expecting higher.
No, I was kidding. I'm actually going B minus.
Okay. I'm gonna B. I really like this. This is a $120 bottle for sure. Based on all of the different barrels that they had to source to finish these in.
Yeah.
$120 is totally fair.
But this is one you sit down with a 1 ounce pour.
And you sit with it for a while.
And you sit with it for a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
At least. And this is one that I would recommend that you get some limestone water and you add a drop. You taste it, you go through, you let it sit on your palate for 10 minutes before you add the water. And then add the water, see what you get, and just keep working it. Keep working it till you get there with it. And don't have a lot of interruptions, have some music playing, have something like that.
Something I really like when I listen, and to explain my musical tastes, I like metal and rock music a lot. Probably my predominant, but really big fan of country. There are some really great country instrumental playlists that are out there. Not bluegrass country, like, hey, this is my banjo, let me swing it here for a minute. But some relaxed country playlists out there on Spotify that I am a big fan of.
Josh just played me
Chris Stapleton,
Santana.
Yeah, Joy.
I mean,
that is a really good song.
I mean, you can tell it's Santana right off the bat. So,
and tell you what, this bourbon is joyful.
Yes,
I'm going with
Christmas joy.
Yes, Christmas joy.
What day are we in?
This is day number 11.
11 pipers piping.
11 pipers piping. And tell you what, we might be piping on some cigars before too long. Because this is, honestly, so we've tried a few finishes. I enjoy them more than you do. And that's to be expected. You've avoided finishes because I'm sure back when you started drinking bourbon and any finished whiskey that came out then was probably not that good.
I tried them and I gave them away or I poured them out.
Yeah. And I would imagine
probably a dozen of them. I mean, it wasn't that I avoided, because I tried them.
Yeah.
I wanted to try
and
it,
you bought
see what
some.
was going on. Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Because that's how you tried them back then.
Yeah. There were no samples at bars.
No, I mean there were, but they weren't
few and far between.
Most of the bars then were pouring well pourers and that type of thing. So
yeah, you had your Jim Beams and your Maker's Marks and your Buffalo
Knock
Trace.
Creeks and
yeah. That wasn't a big deal back then. It is now. Now you go to a half decent restaurant, they probably got some half
you
decent
go
pours.
you go to Bin 151, which we love in Huntersville.
Cornelius.
Cornelius, same thing.
They had a really big selection.
Outstanding.
Yeah, one of the restaurants we did not hit while we were in Kentucky is Wash Hill proper.
Yeah,
that is staple on our next trip. We absolutely have.
But I have to say
Wash
this:
Hill.
right off Whiskey Row, what was the little store that we went by? There's a store.
It's just Bottle Shop.
It's just called Bottle Shop.
Let me look it up real quick.
And you actually have to have them let you in the door.
Yeah. It's in a little bit of a rougher spot.
Just slightly. Louisville. It's just off Whiskey Row. It's really not far off. But it's narrow. Had a great selection, but they've got a tasting bar in the back, and they had the best price on pours and high-end pours.
So if you search on Google for just Bottle Shop, Louisville, Kentucky, what comes up? They have 5 stars on Google,
and they should.
419 reviews as of right now, 5 stars. And we were in the store, and there's some footage coming up of that. They have 419 5-star reviews, and super crazy reasonably priced pours. They had Russell's 15 for $20.
I don't know. It was great
for
price.
A pour.
I mean,
and their bourbon selection was very good. So it's just Bottle Shop and Tasting Room, no spaces on Google when you search this. But if you search Bottle Shop Louisville, Kentucky, it's the 3rd listing that is there. On it, the guy who owned it, I don't know if he was the owner.
I don't know if he was the owner.
He seems like the owner because the way he was talking to us, he was telling us some other bottles he had been going through and what he was looking for. Really nice, but really great customer service.
Yeah, they have some high-end clientele that comes in, and they have some
lower-end clientele.
Yeah,
they had a window where you just come up and
they had a walk-up window, and those are the people they don't let inside. But it was, and we didn't go to the bar because we were meeting at the Brown Hotel, which another great, if you want to go and have great pours and have a great meal.
Fantastic.
And by the way, have a great room.
Yeah.
We didn't stay there this time, but Kelly and I have previously.
His wife, my mother.
So just a great place, historic place there in downtown. But we just didn't have the time to have some pours, and several people came in just after we did, and they were having multiple pours. And
I got myself a special bottle from there.
Yes.
Which we'll do a full sit-down proper review eventually, but there is a review already on that coming up in our special release videos. So
back to this one. I think we graded it already, right?
You said B-, I say B.
Okay. So one more to go for 12 Days of Christmas.
One more.
So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment, give us some ideas for next year's 12 Days of Christmas.
Please. We struggled to get some of these, so we really do need some help.
So we could really, really use your help. Please, we'd use your help. And try to stay away from the finishes. Honestly, that'd be great. Just saying.
A lot of finishes on this one.
Yeah.
I did the best I could, guys.
And I'm not sure he did. Anyway. So, like great bourbon, our videos get better with time.
And as always, please take care of yourselves.